to raise my hand, but you guys have to join in with me. How many guys, raise your hand, and make sure the camera's not facing these guys. We'll be under charges. How many of you guys, get ready, have watched porn on a computer? I couldn't get you to go. I couldn't get you to go for it. You guys are smart. She's got the cameras going right now and everything like that. Mark Trestman gets hired by the Chicago Bears. 13 years. He's not a coach. 13. Not a head coach in the league. Quarterback coach. Coordinator. Quarterback coach. Coordinator. Coordinator. Quarterback coach. Finally gets in an argument with Bill Walsh. This guy got in an argument about philosophical differences with the 49ers with Bill Walsh. So he gets exiled. You did what? You yelled at who? You had philosophical differences with Bill Walsh? Bill Walsh, and he was working for San Francisco. He's in Canada. Comes here. I'm going to write a column tomorrow. And as I was writing the column tonight, I said to myself, what do I think of Trustman? I didn't like Thibodeau. Remember when Thibodeau got hired by the Bulls? I came out and I said, guess what? I said, this guy, if he was so good, one of those geniuses would have hired him by now. How come he's been on the bench? He can't coach. He can't coach. How can he coach? How can he be a head coach if he's been around so long? One of those geniuses, one of those mavens would have got it. I was wrong. I was wrong. This guy is one of the top coaches, not only in the NBA, he's one of the top coaches in basketball, and nobody gave him a chance. So I'm willing to give this guy Mark Trestman, although he doesn't know how to spell Mark, M-A-R-C. I don't get it. Make up your mind. It's a K or a C. And he says, but the guy, to me, let's give him a chance and let's see what happens. In the meantime, Oprah decides, because she decided to do the Mike North thing. She was getting paid a whole lot of money. And I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I'm in contract negotiations. It's my 17th year at the school. Started the joint. Me, Jiggets, Tom Scher, McNeil, Boers. First sports station in Chicago, one of only 12 in 1992. Now there's 350 alone on Fox, where I live. There's like thousands of them, right? I told them, you know, we want to give you this much money. You were making this much. I go, let me tell you something. There's no way. My dad told me I shouldn't take a pay cut if I don't deserve it. Back when I was a kid. He goes, did your dad make that kind of money? I go, no. He says, but I said, it's the same principle. They said, let me tell you, if you don't sign this deal, your career's over. You'll end up doing hour shows at some Fathers Club meetings at some That's what I'm doing. That's where I'm at. I couldn't be happier. I'm driving out here with my buddy. We're listening to a little 50s music. He goes, is that the last time you made big money? I go, hell yeah. I go, oh yeah. And you know, I get to do so many different things now. And I'm on Fox, I write for the Herald, and I'm on WIND, and I'm all over the place, which is the way you gotta be now. I'll be on TV in the morning. I love the work. I don't miss corporate America. How many of you guys here are corporate guys? Most of you probably work in corporations. You got big money. You got big money. You guys are the survivors of the corporations, right? I know you are. Don't look around, O'Brien. Don't look around, Brian. I mean, you know, the thing to me about, if you listen to radio now, it's nothing. It's not as good as it was.
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern, what radio station's he on? He ain't on CBS. He's on the satellite. North's on the satellite. Mad Cow's not even on. Dog's gone. Not that some of these guys, we're not getting a little longer too, but we still got plenty of energy, right? But they like down low, they like vanilla, and they want everybody cooperating with their teams. The teams own the TV stations, the teams have heavy influence on the radio stations, and so what do we get? Bad radio where you want to, I know you guys don't even throw up in your mouth. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Now, as far as the business is concerned, you can't say anything anymore. I'll give you a perfect example. We say the N-word now, okay? In the 90s, we said the word. on the score and on other stations. I said that because it was in conversation. Somebody once said to me, have you ever used the N-word? I said, exactly, I've used the N-word. A black woman asked me. I go, absolutely I have. I know all of 50 Cent's music. All you have to do is read 50 Cent's lyrics, man. I go, I'll tell you what, I'll get you 50 Cent's lyrics. He says that word 1,000,000 times. And that's basically what we're talking about here. But yet, if Brent Musburger says, look at that out there, look at her, we're going live to the stands to a hot-looking babe who's looking very, very hot, and she's looking sensational, and I wish I was all over her. We're at home going, yeah, you wish we're all over her too. You know, my wife goes, what'd you say, hon? No, don't worry about it, you know, we're looking, and at that night that he said that, I said, uh-oh, it shouldn't be an uh-oh moment. But that's the way we're going. If we're going to give you guns with 2 bullets. Okay, boom, boom, hold on. There's somebody in the school. I got 55 magazines with 2 bullets in each. Hold on, that's how it's going. So, this guy says a girl's good looking in the stands. You guys remember Harry Carey? How many shots of Harry Carey how many shots of women at Wrigley Field did we see? And what did he say? He wouldn't say, oh. He'd go, woo! Woo! Hey, Steve! Oh! Now, if Musburger would have gone, whoa! Is he in trouble? So now the next day I win. And I'm already down on the industry because they don't let us be ourselves. You have to think now. Howard Stern told me at one time, he says, if you have to think about what you're going to say on the radio, you're finished. Okay? You're going to be done. And so you try not to think about it, but you still got to watch yourself, right? But for God's sake, hey, look at that girl, she's good looking. Get him down to the office. Now, Musburger says tonight, if you watch the game he was doing, Holly Rowe was downstairs doing the show. Holly's a little bit on the heavier side. She, you know, she's a beaten favorite. Let's be honest about it. You know what I mean? You know, I'm just being as succinct as I can. We all are. I mean, we've seen better days. Secretary even had a limp in his 33rd year. You know, the little coach used to run by and go, "You ain't shit." You know, hey Red, hey right here, Red. You know. So. Harry Carey and all these people, if you say something's looking good, now you can't. So now the other night he says about Holly Rowe. He goes, and there's Holly Rowe. And I know what he did. He did it on purpose. On behalf of Brent Musburger, Jimmy Dykes, Holly Rowe smoking tonight. I heard. He made it sound like, hey, we were smoking tonight, but he basically alluded to her being smoking, which is ridiculous, but that's beside the point. She's a nice girl and she's pleasant, but he did what we used to do whenever our program directors, and this is a man who's 75 years old, that's very secure, got a lot of money, and owns half the state of Montana, while David Letterman owns the other half. So a round of applause for a 75-year-old man who's got Sorry about the swearing, man. I really apologize. Trying to keep it clean. It's a Catholic Fathers Club. They want something. You know what I mean? By the way, my cameraman there, I want to introduce Corey Torf. He's a Jew. He says, if you're a cross in there, I go, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So we got the White Sox, who nobody cares about, so we'll just move. They're on the south side. There's 3 factories left and 4 houses. You know, you drive down to Ryan, you go 80 miles an hour so you don't get shot. Then you got Wrigley Field, where you drive up and you're looking for parking. You park in a convent, and you walk 15 blocks. You watch a team lose 10-1. Okay, and Jeff Samardzija is your cover boy. Jeff Samardzija is the season ticket magnet for the Chicago Cubs. I can't wait to go. I can't wait. And of course, our guy Rizzo, Anthony Rizzo. And then you got the Bears, you got Mark Trestman, and Lovey was let go of 10 wins, and I didn't think Lovey was going to go. I did not think Lovey was going to go. I thought he's won 10 games. It's so unbearable, like to fire somebody that's shown some success. So I went on to TV, and I went on 5 or 6 stations, you know, when people call you, and you know, when something in Chicago breaks, and I told them, there's no way he's going. The Bears would never do something like this, and 2 minutes later they did. So I mean, you know, sometimes you're wrong, and boy, was I wrong about this, but how many people saw Lovey getting fired before that? I really thought 10 wins, you deserve to make the playoffs, because in the National Football League, you get beat every week. There's upsets every week. So he did beat the teams he was supposed to beat, didn't beat the teams. San Francisco and Green Bay basically sunk his ship. So now we got this guy, Mark Trestman. We'll see what he's going to do. We got the Bulls waiting for Derrick Rose. He's walking around like this. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. Only, you know, we had Jordan, and we should have enjoyed him more. We should have enjoyed him more. I should have been nicer to him. Oh, what about the gambling? What? I had to be out just to keep the conversation going on right now. Oh, he gambled. The night before, I had 2 dimes on the Bulls. He's gambling. How can he keep his mind on the game? I've got to talk about the game, and you know, I covered by half a point. I was up here. So we're criticizing him when we're doing the same thing. And we picked on this poor guy. And I've seen Michael since. I said I should have been nice. He goes, damn right. Like that. He's a good guy. But man, we had the greatest athlete of all time. Well, Slim Bowler, he never paid him. What do I care if he paid him? You know, other people owe me money. I'm going to worry about somebody else that's owed money. Remember all the nonsense with Michael? And, you know, the women, he had some weak moments, but he's an NBA player. They only have, each player only has probably 300 or 400 weak moments in his career. You know. And so, could have been nicer to Michael Jordan, greatest athlete of all time, but we'll never see another one. Then you see what happens with Derrick Rose. You're just hoping he's going to be okay. You're just hoping he's going to, because if he isn't, take it, you know, I mean, we got Joakim Noah. Aren't the Bulls a little bit boring right now without having a go-to guy? You guys don't? Aren't they a little mundane to watch? And I know you guys. This looks like a hockey crowd to me. But I mean, come on. They treat us like garbage, don't they? They're worried about themselves. We're not going to have hockey, and then is everybody going to watch? I mean, even when the NBA came back, they came back on Christmas Day. They had a big deal when they were gone. They had the big 5 games in one day last year. And you know, 50 games seemed around late, but the hockey thing to me, it seems non-existent. I was a huge hockey fan. I loved the Hawks from the 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, and then the 90s was Savard and all the guys, Jeremy and Amante, and then it just seems like they've taken this, really, you want to be stared down? Bill Ward stared me down. That's a man. Did you guys ever get the opportunity to see or meet a Bill Ward's? Looking at me like this from across the hall. He was a Marine, and he was no nonsense, and he'd listen to the score. They say they don't listen. You know, and he'd listen to the score, and I'd come to the games, and he'd stare down some of us. He was a very intimidating guy, and he was a horrible hockey owner. Thank God for Rocky Works. Now we'll see what happens with hockey. I don't know. Myself, I think when ESPN has bowling on Sundays and no hockey contract, what does that tell you about your sport? I mean, I'm watching people who are like this, and you got to go to Versus or NBC cable to watch hockey. So it's a dangerous situation. As far as I'm concerned, you guys, I'm going to give you guys my cards tonight. Believe me, if you'd like me to speak, I'm very, very reasonable. Okay, I like doing father and. Well, the father and son thing's out the window with this show tonight. By the way, what's up? You guys look like a bunch of state troopers. You know, I've been looking at these shields. I've been looking at these shields on your sweaters. I can't tell if I want one because it will get me out of the ticket. If I'm a cop, I'm not even reading the damn thing. I'm going, this guy's official. What is it, a line? That's a Spartan. That's the name of the school? Yes. What's the name of the school? I'm going to give out St. Francis Spartans. And this is grade school kids. High school. I coach at Notre Dame High School. We haven't had the opportunity to play St. Francis guys yet, but we have a nice team this year. Right now we're 13-2. And I get to coach on Fridays. I coach during the week, but then I got to work on Fox on Saturday night, so I miss those games. But working with kids is a great thing. It really, really is. And working in high schools is great. How's the teams going? How's the teams?
11-2 the varsity boys.
You guys, and it's for basketball, it's great. Beautiful.
State champions.
Volleyball?
Soccer.
And is it co-ed or is it?
Co-ed.
Yeah, see, Notre Dame is an all-boys school. I could not have never. I mean, did you guys go to all-boys schools or did you guys? I went to Sen, which is like it looks like a prison on Beard Street. You know, I went to, it's a public high school, 3,000 kids, and you know, half the teachers were drunk, and we made it through. But and there were girls. How many guys here went to co-ed school? Okay, I gotta be honest with you. I was such a horrible student. I had to have girls in my school. I was so bad. I was terrible. I dropped out. I never talk about it because I don't think it's good for the kids to say you dropped out of school because they give people that drop out no hope. There was always hope. You can always work hard. You can always do something with your life. Just keep grinding away. You guys all look like grinders. Who's the richest guy in the room? Floyd. You got the biggest smile, you rascal. All right, now I'm going to take questions and answers. And by the way, if you ask me about any celebrity, sports, I've had some encounter with them. So if you guys want to ask me questions about anything pertaining to anything, okay? You can. If you want to ask me about any guy or anybody in the world of sports, I know I have an individual story for almost everybody. Okay?
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton.
What's your best Walter Payton?
Walter Payton would come in when I did a show with him at Vinny's in Schaumburg, and we did one in Carlucci's. This is when.
How big was he? How tall was he?
He was about this size, and he was like a monster. And he was unbelievable. He had huge arms. He was a driven man. He's a practical joker, unless you pull jokes on him. Okay? So I used to talk on the mic, and he'd move the mic on me during commercials. He'd go, "Hey, how you doing? Look at what I'm doing to you." You know, like a child. It was beautiful. And then on Sundays, he'd run over like 8 guys, you know. And then one day, I had my buddies take his license plates, WP34, off his Testarossa. And they walked in with him. And he didn't talk to me for the whole day. I found out he couldn't take a joke. So now we have to score golf out. He and I and Jickets are hosting. So I get 6 guys, 6 of my buddies, we go to the golf out. I got 2 in Barry Sanders jerseys, 2 in Emmett Smith jerseys, and 2 in Gail Sayers jerseys. Nobody in a Payton jersey. Didn't talk to me again for the whole day. So that's my Walter Payton story. And of course, the tragic end was it was brutal. It absolutely was. Anybody else with a question? I go all night.
Is Urlacher staying?
Is there what?
Is Urlacher staying?
I hope not. My God, doesn't he look broken down? Yeah. Looks like an old Chevy, doesn't he? I mean, you know, the guy had a good career. I wanted Janikowski, and he's still kicking. And he kicks the ball 80 yards. The ball just went by. The guy kicks like, I go, he'll be around forever. And he's going to be around forever. He's got thousands of points. He's an awesome kicker. But people wanted Urlacher, and that's not a bad pick. But they're both going to the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. But I think Urlacher with this new guy. See, what I think's going to happen to the Bears are going to turn into remember the San Diego Chargers with Dan Fouts? We're going to start scoring 38, 40 points and give up 50. Because, hey, wait, we forgot. We have no defensive coaches. We got Trescott. We got this guy. Come on over here. We got to coach defense now. Our guys are getting older. We got Peanut Tillman getting older. He had a great year. Can he do it? He had an awesome year. He's the first time he's been on the first team All-Pro team. Urlacher's getting older. Briggs getting a little bit older, but still got about 2-3 years left in him. But the offensive line, like I'm saying about this Chip Kelly from Philadelphia. Here's a guy that says, I'm not going, I'm going, I'm not going, I'm going. Okay, he ends up going. There's not one guy in Philadelphia that could start for Oregon. I'm not kidding. I mean, is Nick Foles, I watched a quarterback from Oregon, they're like this. It's college. If you try to run plays, 80 plays a game, you're going to lose 85-3 because you're going to do 3 out of 28 seconds. It's ridiculous. So I think, to make it a long story short, I think Urlacher, hopefully, it's hard to let go of a guy like that, but good teams let him go before they break down completely. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Jamarcus Webb. I mean, he's more in love with Twittering and everything else. I'm just curious, does he take football serious? And does he potentially good, or is he always going to be that
I'll tell you what,
left tackle turnstile?
I just think he's going to be a turnstile. I don't know if he's got these. A lot of these guys get The whole line's a turnstile. They go, hey, Mark Trustman, say hello to Lance Lewis. Say hello to Roberto Garza. Okay? I mean, that's not going away, boys. That's not going away anytime soon. And next. Yes, sir.
How much control do you think that the local teams have on the criticism on 670?
Oh my God. I created a monster at 670. I met with Reinsdorf at the Phoenician Hotel in Arizona 7, 8 years ago. He's sitting there already. We have a meeting at 1:30. I sit down with Reinsdorf. He's reading a book, a pocket book, and I get up there and it's on a veranda there. It's like, I'm eating Louis B. Mayer, and I'm trying to get a movie role, for God's sake. And they come to Arizona, I get a little golf, and I was out to shot 150, and then I meet Jerry Reinsdorf. Yawn, because Jerry's not the most exciting guy in the world. But he says to me, I'm trying to get off this one new channel. I think I forget what channel. I want to know if you think this is going on. I go, I can talk to the people that are there and stuff like that. He goes, let's both talk to them. So we both talk to them. Well, now since they've been on the school, you can't say nothing bad about it. We used to rip this guy, Rob Gallus, who was the marketing guy. And he used to do everything wrong, but also he did some wonderful things like turn back the clock. Well, they got this guy now that's there. His name is Brooks Boyer. And this guy went to Notre Dame for marketing. And they had to bring in a guy from New York just recently to give him his outsider's opinion of what's wrong with the site. You got a marketing department, and you're going outside to tell everybody paint stripes on the parking lot. Paint stripes on the parking lot so you can see it. Don't make people tell people they can park on 35th and reroute them to 37th. Okay? I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box, but I told Ryan, if you could have asked me, I would have charged you half of what he charged you, and I would have had 25 things that are wrong with this stupid thing. That's how I talked to him. He goes, well, can I finish my muffin before you So, I mean, he's a great guy, but he lets his people, he trusts his people too much. And, now you see 12,000 there. And getting rid of A.J. Brzezinski, may I just say this, one of the worst moves they could have ever done. How do you get rid of a winner like that, who's for 1 year, let him go to Texas, let him go to Texas. Let's let him go to a World Series team. $7.5 million for A.J. because we want to watch Tyler Flowers. 205 career batting average in 4 years. There was a guy back in the day, I used to call him Karko the Clown.
Yes.
Ron Karkovic. All he needed was the big red nose that flashed on and off when he was on. He looked like the Cowardly Lion. Yeah, from the Wizard of Oz. So they couldn't wait to get Fisk out of there. Fisk is still hitting 280, bombing 25 homers. They get him out of there. It was never the same. Same thing as with this Brzezinski. We are going to get our royal butts kicked. They're going to draw flies over there. And I told Reinsdorf, you ever see that movie, The Lord of the Flies? You're the new Lord of the Flies because that's what you draw out there. Flies. They don't draw anybody. And then when you get out there, they have 100 different types of beer. My nephew's a vendor. I used to vendor at Wrigley Field. I'm walking around with the Ron Santo pizza back in the day. Pizza! Pizza hitting the top. I saw the big black guy was doing it. I said, that makes a lot of noise. I'm hitting it. I'm like 17. I'm like right up this guy's rear end following him. Pizza! Pizza, right? I'm not lying to you. Get your Ron Santo pizza here. Get your Ron Santo. Hey, how they sell it? I look, it's Santo. How they sell it at third base? I go, good, pizza. True story. Ron Santo went to talk Philip Wrigley into putting 2 pizza ovens in to the concessionaire. That's how he did it. And Phil Wrigley, this big man, he goes, how much are these damn ovens going to cost, for God's sake? You're breaking me. That's a lot of gum. That's a lot of gum. Anything else, guys? Yes.
You go back to your coaching at Notre Dame.
Yes.
A friend of mine, David Halloran, had a son there. I think he's already graduated.
Okay.
He's a little tall, skinny kid. Remember him, Halloran, last name Halloran?
Irishman.
Yeah, Irish, yeah.
Tall,
Very tall.
pasty,
Yes.
freckles, never heard of him.
I didn't work out. How does he play?
I don't remember him, but has he gone on to play in the NBA or the CBA or the...
He's in college now.
Good for him.
Yeah, the Israeli league.
He's in, wait, the Israeli league, they do well. They do well. The Tel Aviv Destroyers. But let me tell you something. That's the second, you know what? Here's what I know about Israel. If somebody fires on them, they're fighting back. I want to be where I'm. What happened? We go like this. Well, we should have a meeting before we discuss. They're bombing us. Well, let's have a committee. No, they're coming down. I'd like to, you know what? I'm going to go there someday. No, I'm not. I'm lying. Anybody else?
What's Tom Shearer doing these days? I haven't heard of it.
He's gone, I think. I don't know.
Where, I mean, literally just like...
I just some guys just fall off the earth and you just.
I think so.
Yeah, you know, you got to keep moving. If you stop grinding, you know, like I said, you got to keep moving. Yes, sir.
Michael, you just want to share the early days of the score and how that all came down?
Yeah. 92. Yeah, 92. I'm doing, well, really
Hot
good.
dogs.
91, I'm at the hot dog stand. I got the hot dogs going. And I, you know, did some booking there, and I had parlay cards, and we had a regular group of people. We had a video poker machine, and we had hot dogs, and we had beefs, and we had brownies, and we had soup, and me and my wife were in the business for 15 years. Now, my wife and I have been married 35 years. We've known each other 39. Yeah, come on. They didn't give me 35 minutes. They didn't give me 35 minutes. My buddies are at in the sacristy going, this won't last 6 months. I go, would you quit it? So, and the guy that told me that's divorced, but that's beside the point now. But, so I'm in the hot dog stand, and I read in Robert Vietor's column that they're going, and I'm doing freelance radio. I'm paying $300 for a 1 hour show at WSBC, which is a broker time radio, where if you drive down to Kennedy, and I'd get to 53, because I tape it in the morning, they played at night from 8 to 9. I was on right before the Father Justin Rosary Hour from Buffalo, New York. I'm handicapping football, and then this priest comes on. All right? So to pay crooked. Thanks, I want to make sure. So anyway, I get to 53, because we're driving home from the hot dog stand, and to hear your voice on the radio. There was no computers, anybody can get on the web now. I'm on the radio, I don't care if we get to 53, okay? Now I'm going back the other way. Oh, and then I hear myself and I go back the other way, listen to the show, and then go all the way back home again, right? So now I hear that they're going to start in Rob Vietor's column a cool jazz or country station at what was then 820. They're going to, XRT was, you want to talk, I'll tell you about XRT. But you had the hippies over here. And then you had the type A sports guys over here. And we had the bad surround. We didn't have real nice studios or anything. I just couldn't believe. The first day I was on the radio, well, Danny Lee comes in, the owner of XRT. He goes, I hear you're pretty good in sports. We're looking for a street kid. I go, well, how many people have you put in for it? They go, 300. I go, what can I want to put in? He goes, put your tapes in. Because I heard from some of the people that come in here from the station. I go, okay. So for 6 months, I'm telling my wife every day, and I was nuts back then. I mean, drinking, running, crazy, something that I'm sure you guys didn't do. And I tell her every day at the hot dog stand, I'd have the wieners in my hand. Am I going to get it? You think I'm going to get a fucking job? Hey, you think I'm going to get you? You're going to get it. My wife told me this. You're going to get it. You're going to be better than anybody. Wait, see, that's the power of the woman that's with you. You're going to get it. So they start the station. They're ready to start in January. I get a call on like December 20th that I'm going to get a 6-month trial. So then they put me with James. Here's this guy that I watched from the stands, and I met Doug the phone. All these guys are my friends now, but Jiggins, the last game I saw him in, Bubba Baker kicked his ass. So the first day around the air, he goes, well, I know you went to a lot of fair games now, didn't you? No kind. And I go, yeah, Jigs, the last one I went to was Bubba Baker one when he was limping on the field, then he found out Ted Auburn couldn't play, and he started doing cartwheels because you were playing. Take it easy! And then we just took off from there, and that's how that started. It was a wonderful 17 years, and the score, there'll never be another group of guys like that first group. The guys they got now, they're good, but they're under rules that are just, it's just tough to be creative. I mean, some of the stuff I've said here, you can't say there, but you used to be able to say it. So that's how things have changed. But the score's not going anywhere. It's going to do great forever, and I'm very proud of the fact that I was there for 17 years. McNeil told me one time, he goes, you know, you were the biggest influence in the early years. I go, and I was the biggest influence in the later years. The only problem is you broke your contract and they kicked you out of here. He wasn't here during my later years. Then he came back. But McNeil, those guys, the originals, Boers, Cher, myself, Jiggs, I mean, Mike Murphy. I mean, if you were a Cub fan, and now Murph can't even get in the radio. Can't. If you were a Cub fan, why wouldn't WGN hire my wife? Because Mike Murphy will tell me on WGN what's wrong with the Cubs. Just like I would say what's wrong with the Bears. Now I'm hearing they don't say anything. I don't listen to whole lot. National radio now, XM, Sirius, not just for sports. That's the way to go now. You get a more realistic brand. Although this Manti-Te'o stuff, I was on here yesterday. I do like weekends at Fox, and then I sit in 20 weeks out of the year, which is perfect for me. And I do the show from my house. I have a studio in my home. So I beam from here. I do my show from here. It's in California. Well, we're on at 5 o'clock. Me and Pat O'Brien are doing the shows on third hour. And you guys remember Pat O'Brien from the NBA and CBS? He goes, Mikey, he goes, we got this story. Now, there's two stories one story I never want to do again. If we used to do sports talk in the 90s, and, you know, about the way the guys played. I mean, the Joe Paterno, I mean, to me, that's the only time I didn't have any joy about doing radio, because I loved Joe Paterno. I argued on behalf of him and got shouted down by my own peers, because all I said was he went up the corporate ladder. They had a problem. He should have done more. But he told these guys, and now these guys didn't do anything about it. But it was just a tough story. Now this thing comes up. I'm on the air yesterday. They go, Pat O'Brien says, well, Mike, he says, there's a problem, Manti-Te'o and his girlfriend. There was no girlfriend. I go, what are you talking about? He said he saw her. They talked. She's sick. She died of leukemia. And here, by the way, has anybody asked if the grandmother's real? Has anybody asked if the grandmother's real? They're so worried about the girlfriend, the grandmother might be fake, for God's sake, right? So the whole thing, we were confused for half an hour, and people, I'm listening now, it's the most confusing story of all time. And this kid here, listen, if you're Manti-Te'o, you play for Notre Dame, and you're the king of Notre Dame, you can have any girl you want. You're like, I think your leukemia will get better soon. And there's some guy the other night, I hope so. You know, what the hell is going on? There's a guy, they say this voice, I hope so. Unbelievable. Anybody else? Yes.
How do you like working with John and Amy? I guess
John and Amy, I do John and Amy on WIND on Tuesdays, and I'm also on with Steve Cochran on Friday nights. They're all great people. I have a good time with everybody. You know what? I just turned 60 not too long ago. I'm going to tell you guys something. How many guys here are 60? Jesus Christ.
Going home to bed.
By the way, I got to put on my phone up.
He runs the wind piece still.
Attaboy, don't give up on it. Hey, it's cyclical. It comes back. It's coming back. The leather helmet's coming back. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, the leather helmet's coming back.
You've worn a few of them in your day.
By the way, so anyway, my guy back here, I want to say, his name is Jim Gibson. And he's a good guy, a great guy. He's a great marketer. But when I first meet him, and we're talking. He goes, I used to play in a band. I go, really? I go, that's good, you know. Did you play like in the Midwest or? No, I was in a band with B.J. Thomas. I recorded Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. I'm hooked on, remember those songs? My guy! Give me a hand like that. Yeah? What's this mean?
That means I'm doing the same gig you are. My gig's over.
Yeah, but didn't you play the sax?
I play the trumpet and guitar.
There you go.
Yeah.
Trumpet and the guitar. And they only sold, what, 12 million?
12 million
And
albums.
then 12 million. That's a pretty good piece of change.
And by the way, I'm here because I'm a huge fan of this guy that I just met. We want to do some business together.
That's right.
Talented
And
guy,
by the way,
funny
he'll be
guy.
passing his cards out to you too, and he'll drop me like a hot potato. Anything else, gentlemen?
Mike Greenberg. Didn't he start?
Mike Greenberg, great story. Mike Greenberg says to me, my man, he goes, Greenberg, 1992, we're sitting in this conference room, and they're telling us how the rules, we're going to start at 10. Greenberg was the producer and a reporter. We became buddies. He produced the store, he produced our show on the store, Jesse Rogers, me, him, and he said to me, about 6 years later, he goes, Mike, I got this offer from NBC. I said, yeah? What, downstairs? He goes, yeah, because I go, that's great, you'd be the lead anchor for NBC? He goes, yeah, but I also got this other offer from ESPN. I go, ESPN? What the hell you want to go there for? Now, this is before they had the TV. I said, you don't want to go there. Thank God he took the deal. Because I just went down to see him about a year ago. He's doing great. He goes, can you imagine if I were to listen to you? How was I supposed to know you're going to have your own damn TV show? But I'm so happy for Mike Greenberg. He's a great guy. And him and Golick do a good job. They really do.
Best Bears defensive lineman you saw.
Ever?
Yeah.
You know what? They used to have a guy back in the day when I loved the Bears when I was a kid. They were 1-13. We had a guy named Willie Holman that played left tackle. He was a monster. But the best I ever saw, well, I'll tell you, the guy that gave the most effort was McMichael. But Hampton's. Well, McMichael was. Hampton was a monster. Take it easy over there, Brian. All right. I like Hampton. Oh, Jesus. My God. That comes from the crowd, for God's sake. Anybody else?
Where's Lovey gonna end up?
You know what I love about Lovey? He said, I'm not doing the coordinator position. And he should be a head coach. And I think he won't be anywhere this year. He's going to take the year off. He'll probably be on BT, or something like that. Or ESPN. He'll be, there's so many places. I want to be on BT. They won't let me in. For God's sake. I tried out for the Jesse White Tumblers once. They wouldn't let me in. I asked Jesse White that. Jesse's a great guy. He really is. I go, because we've had White Tumblers try out. I go, I've never seen one. He goes, what do you make it? Anybody else? I'm rolling now. I'm at Springsteen. We done?
Mike, yeah, we want to give you a little gift here. Give you a Wheaton jersey, one of our sweaters, and a couple $100 gift card.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay?
Thank
Let's
you.
hear it from Mike.
It's my pleasure, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me. I'll come like it. Hey, Brian, can I have something to drink? Jeez,
Yeah.
I'm dying. Good to meet you, man.
Go to the bar. Have one on my kid.
Can I put a Diet Coke on your tip?
Yeah.
Take it easy. I want you to watch your wallet.
Hey, you have to picture with a couple guys.
Yeah,
Come on. Come on, get her hop in there, guys. Get her a couple of dads. Come on, get her. We need a couple of dads in her for the picture.
Yeah, come on. Everybody, we'll get everybody. Let me get the shirt on.
We want to see it on tomorrow morning, Mike.